Hello, and welcome back to our channel. This is the final episode in a three-part project diary chronicling how we created an office space for a policy startup in Abuja, Nigeria. In the past two episodes, we've presented the project and the work that was done to bring our designs to life. Now it's time to reveal the 35th and O Street project in the heart of Abuja. Before we move along, please subscribe, hit the like button and notifications so that you can see projects when we put them up. And when you're done watching, please post your comments below, then share with your family and friends to do the same. Thank you. On this project, AHL teamed up with the architectural firm Icons Architecture OCA. They're a full-service architecture firm based in Abuja and have worked on a variety of projects for public institutions and private individuals. They handled the bigger construction portion, while AHL handled decor, furnishings, and styling. When you first come in, you've entered the reception. Remember that this project used to be a residential property, but now we've converted it to a commercial property. So when you come in, this would have been originally like a small informal sitting room of some sort, and we have turned it into the reception and first foyer. When you look around the space, we have made a custom reception desk. I showed you our inspiration in the first episode, and we've adjusted the height for our own uses. We've also created a custom panel door and covering for what used to be the initial formal sitting room, and created a separation between that and the waiting room, which would have been like a guest room or a guest study at the entrance. We have white, shiny gloss white wood, and everything is integrated and cohesive to give you a very lovely first impression and introduction to the space. This is the reception. This is our conference room. Previously, it would have been like a formal sitting room for the residential property, but now that it's an office, it's a conference room that seats 10 people. In here, we have a custom-built conference table. We have a custom-built sideboard for storage, and we've continued the paneling you saw on the other side with the sliding doors on an inner wall that separates what used to be the dining area but is now an office. The wood is continued. We are still using the same beech wood. You still see the whites. The blinds on the walls are still the night and day gray blinds, but there are two custom art pieces on the wall which are skylines of Lagos and Abuja. I decided to put that there because this organization that's going to be using this space, one of their missions is to help to grow the country and further its improvement and development. And I thought that with two very distinct skylines on the horizon when they're working and they look up, it could help and serve as inspiration for them as they go about their day. We have hardwood floors, and what we've done, because it's a rental property, we've tried as much as possible to employ elements that when they're leaving, they can just take it out. So we have not made any strong construction or structural changes to the building. This is the conference room. Now we are in the kitchenette. This was the original kitchen space for the house, but the cabinetry, everything here was in very poor condition. So we pretty much gutted the kitchen. Now, one of the things that really got on my nerves was the tiles. I really don't like tiling in any spaces from floor to ceiling unless it's a bathroom. So when I came into the kitchen, it was a typical Nigerian kitchen where you have tile up and down, and the tiles were dated. So what we did is what we also did in all the other bathrooms where there were tiles. We sprayed the tiles with car paint and brought it white. You can see how bright the space is. We brought out the color, we made it uniform, so it is a classic color. There's nothing you would do in this kitchen that would not look nice, because now the walls are white. So even if you brought in blue, it will look nice. Brought in gray, it will look nice. And so we've designed a kitchenette that's going to work for them. Another thing we've removed that doesn't exist in this kitchen is a gas range. Because it's an office, they're not going to be cooking every day. So what we've done is we've built a custom table where they can sit and have their breakfast or tea, or have little conversations while they warm their food or make some tea. There is a sink where they can clean up after themselves, and it's pretty much cleaned up, accessorized, and made to fit for purpose. So this is the kitchenette. We are in one of the 4 remaining offices in the building, which were formerly bedrooms. There are 3 rooms and a master bedroom. So the master bedroom will be for the manager or the highest ranking staff, and the other 3 will be for the other levels of employees. And so these other 3 bedrooms, they pretty much mirror the same type of layout. Yeah, well, there were existing closet spaces that we now spray to try to brighten up, because the original color scheme didn't work, and it made the wood, you could see the deficiencies in the wood. We repainted, we have custom office desks, and we now have accessories. In this particular office, there was a little niche in the side, little cutout in the wall, and so we did some open shelving with wallpaper at the back. This is not repeated in the other smaller offices, but it is repeated in the MD's office. So I'm assuming there will be an MD, maybe this will be the DMD's office. And so this is office number 1 of 3 associate offices. We're in the first of 5 offices, and this office is the space that was originally the dining area for this residence, but we've converted it into an office. Remember, from the conference room, there's an opening that was covered with paneling. That opening is what you see as the backdrop in this office. Again, continue through the space. We have the same type of wood, we have the same blinds, and then we have decorative accents to just make it comfortable. We even have extra storage because there wasn't any storage for the person here. This is office number 1. We're in one of my favorite places in the entire project. This would have been the upstairs second living room, servicing the bedrooms upstairs, but now this is now part of what I call the CEO suite. So this is the waiting room attached to the CEO's office, which would have been the master bedroom that we've turned into the CEO's office. So in this space, we have custom furniture in the green that you've seen repeated throughout the space. Then there is a very beautiful art piece on the wall that I'm so very proud of because I made it myself using African print Ankara, stretched over cotton, stretched on a canvas, and then framed. When you're doing design for spaces, you need to think of very creative ways to accessorize. It's not every time you put a piece of, like a fine piece of fine art or another kind of thing. And if you notice through all the spaces, a lot of the design elements are almost like collage-like. If you look at other art pieces around the rooms, Everything was sourced, everything was put together. They are made by hand, they're quite custom, so that it gives you a feel of what the potential can be when you do something with your hands. And for an organization that is trying to promote the development in Nigeria, there's a lot of potential here. And it is my hope that as they use these spaces, the things around them remind them. So when they come in here and they see this very dramatic 5 by 4 feet custom art piece, they can really put their minds to what other things can we create if we put our minds to it in this country. It gives me so much joy to present the CEO's waiting room. We are in the CEO's office, or what used to be the master bedroom. What we've done here is similar and a little bit different from where all the other offices and what we've done in other rooms. First of all, we changed the floors. The other rooms kept their floors. But like these other rooms, we painted the existing closet and tried to spruce it up and bring it up, give it a new lease on life. We've changed the floors to match the flooring that was in the foyer, going down the stairs, if you remember. Then we have wallpaper on one wall where the TV is to give him an accent wall. And then we've broken the space into 3 spaces. So we have his formal desk. We have additional seating for if he wants to have a meeting in his office. So like a conference room table, so to speak. It's not, but it's it's another type of furniture, but we repurposed it for that. And then there's a corner of the room, it's like a little nook. So we made a custom 2-seater there and a little area rug for if he wants to have an informal sit down with somebody, or if he's tired and he just wants to rest for a little bit, he can stay there. Then like the other office that had the niche and the open shelving, he also has open shelving, and we styled it accordingly to bring the place out and bring the beauty out in the space. All the furniture, maybe not the chairs, but the tables are made in Nigeria, they're custom. And we also have, I tried to match as much as possible what I pitched in my mood board in episode 1. And so in that corner where he has a 2-seater, there is a gallery of 6 frames on the wall. And if you notice, inside each of the frames is the same fabric that I used on the custom art piece that I created in the CEO's waiting room. That's what you do. You kind of try to bring all your elements together. Repetition gives you consistency, and in itself, there's symmetry and beauty, there's order, and it gives it clean, simple lines, especially when you are in an office. You don't want to have too many busy spaces all around unless that is what the brand calls for. But if you're doing a simple commercial office where you don't have many assets to work with, this is one way that you can create your own stamp on the space. So this is the CEO's office. This part is also another favorite of mine because I argued very strongly with a few people about what the decision was for this space. But this is what drove my thinking when designing this outdoor space. It's a balcony that's off of the CEO's waiting room / kind of upstairs sitting room. Now, when people come here, it's going to be busy. They might decide to use this place as an additional waiting room or an additional meeting space. I didn't want it to be too comfortable so they don't lounge and they sit there for long periods of time and become a nuisance in the office. So the first thing I thought of was seating that was taller than normal. So you would have to sit up. So if you see my custom-made rattan chairs, also made by hand, local artisans, then spray painted with car paint, you can see that the legs are longer than they normally would be if you were using outdoor furniture. Outdoor furniture is usually lower. So you have custom seating out here. We changed the covering, the waterproof covering. It was old, it was red, it was dingy. We had a burglary proofing here that it was accordion design. It was old, you couldn't pass through, it was stuck, and it was the wrong size. Everything just had to go. So by incorporating a new burglary proof so you can see through and give your eyes some interest, what I now also did was I made a border around the sides of the balcony with stones to give it an additional material or texture to layer it. On top of that, I put potted plants. So just think about it like trying to give you a portable garden. That's what I was trying to go for. And then from the ceiling, which we have spruced up by giving another extra coat of paint, you have these lovely hanging flowers that are easy to maintain. All they have to do is stand on a small stool and put some water every day. It will work. These plants are quite resilient for this weather. And then in the entrance, you have a piece of green turf. And I have painted this area, bringing the white color from inside outside. If you are downstairs and you look up, it has already given the building a facelift. It makes this place look brighter than it actually is, because the white, the gray, the near transparent cover brings in more light to this part of the space. And so you now have a very bright, comfortable, classic, simple, but beautifully and tastefully done outer balcony. So I'm very pleased to present to you our outdoor sitting area, or I would like to call it the open air meeting room. We are very grateful to our clients for giving our team the opportunity to have worked on this project and create the space from where their organization takes its first steps. We look forward to doing the same for you. Thank you for watching. And if you've enjoyed what you've seen and would like to see more, please subscribe. Hit the like button and the notifications button as well, so you see other projects when we put up. And when you're done watching, please post your comments below and then share with your family and friends to do the same. Thank you. Fix My Space and AHL are also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you, and see you next project.